Feeling isolated in a crowd is a painful reality for many of us. We're surrounded by people, yet we can't shake off the feeling of disconnection. It's as if we're wearing a mask, pretending to be someone we're not, just to fit in. But what if this feeling of loneliness is not a weakness, but a sign of something deeper? What if it's a call to re-examine our relationships, our values, and our sense of purpose? I remember a time when I felt like I was on top of the world. I had a successful career, a big social circle, and a beautiful home. But despite all the external validation, I felt empty inside. I felt like I was just going through the motions, like I was living someone else's dream. It wasn't until I hit rock bottom, until I lost everything that truly mattered to me, that I realized what was missing. I was missing a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, and a sense of connection to something bigger than myself. So, what's the difference between those who feel lonely and those who don't? Is it just a matter of being more outgoing, or is there something more to it? From my experience, it's not about being more outgoing or extroverted. It's about being more authentic, more vulnerable, and more willing to take risks. It's about being brave enough to be ourselves, even when that means standing out from the crowd. One of the biggest misconceptions about loneliness is that it's a sign of weakness. But what if it's actually a sign of strength? What if it's a sign that we're willing to confront our fears, our doubts, and our insecurities head-on? What if it's a sign that we're willing to take the road less traveled, even if that means walking alone for a while? I've learned that loneliness is not something to be feared or avoided. It's something to be embraced, something to be explored. It's an opportunity to get to know ourselves on a deeper level, to discover our passions, our values, and our sense of purpose. It's an opportunity to reconnect with our inner selves, to find our inner peace, and to live a more authentic life. So, how do we overcome loneliness? How do we break free from the feeling of isolation and disconnection? From my experience, it's not about finding someone to fill the void. It's about filling the void ourselves. It's about finding our own sense of purpose, our own sense of belonging, and our own sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves. One of the most powerful things we can do to overcome loneliness is to practice self-compassion. It's to treat ourselves with kindness, with understanding, and with patience. It's to recognize that we're not alone, that we're all in this together. It's to recognize that our struggles, our fears, and our doubts are a natural part of the human experience. Another powerful thing we can do to overcome loneliness is to connect with nature. It's to spend time outdoors, to breathe in the fresh air, to feel the sun on our skin, and to listen to the sounds of the natural world. It's to recognize that we're a part of something much bigger than ourselves, something that's interconnected and interdependent. I've also learned that loneliness can be a catalyst for creativity. It can be a time for reflection, for introspection, and for exploration. It can be a time to try new things, to take risks, and to push ourselves outside of our comfort zones. It can be a time to discover new passions, new interests, and new hobbies. But what about those times when loneliness feels overwhelming? What about those times when it feels like we're drowning in our own emotions? From my experience, it's about reaching out for support. It's about talking to a trusted friend, a family member, or a mental health professional. It's about being honest about our struggles, our fears, and our doubts. Finally, I want to leave you with a message of hope. I want to remind you that you're not alone, that you're part of a larger community that's struggling with the same things. I want to remind you that loneliness is not a permanent state, that it's a temporary feeling that can be overcome. I want to remind you that you have the power to create the life you want, to find your own sense of purpose, and to live a more authentic life. So, if you're feeling lonely right now, I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay to feel scared, to feel uncertain, and to feel alone. But I also want you to know that you have the power to change your circumstances. You have the power to reach out for support, to connect with others, and to find your own sense of purpose. Share with me in the comments below what you think is the root cause of loneliness, and how you've overcome it in your own life. Don't forget to subscribe to The Becoming for weekly videos on mindset, resilience, and becoming who you were always meant to be.